Hard to believe that only 12 years ago, Ryan Murphy reached the apex of his powers, giving us the season of American Horror Story that most deserved to be its own series, Coven. For the uninitiated, long story short, Coven was The Craft meets Designing Women. Short story long, in the midst of the Salem witch trials of 1692, the real witches decamped down to New Orleans, where they're now based out of the centuries-old Robichaux Academy led by headmistress Cordelia, played by Murphy mainstay Sarah Paulson. Her charges include Madison Montgomery, a nightmarish former child star who's mostly telekinetic, played by Emma Robertson, a real stretch for her as an actor. The always precious Gabourey Sidibe as Queenie, a human voodoo doll. The always charming Jamie Brewer as Mind Reader Nan. Lily Rabe as Mystical Misty, a romantic necromancer. The Gilded Age's Gladys Russell as Zoe, whose powers were never really explained, but she had a fatal and she could unreanimate zombies. We know that. And they are all lorded over by the Supreme, a generational boss witch with all those powers and more. Played by the legendary Jessica Lange in an Emmy-winning turn. Can't believe she won an Emmy for this. Now, the White Witches have been warring for centuries with immortal voodoo queen and definition baddie Marie Laveau across town in the Ninth Ward, played by Angela Bassett in what I consider one of her most seminal roles. The war is reignited when Jessica Lange digs up someone Angela Bassett thought she had buried a long time ago, the psychotic Madame Lalaurie, a real-life historical figure who is renowned for the racialized torture and mortar of countless slaves, wonder who she voted for, played by Kathy Bates in the most terrifying Oh Mary audition we've seen yet. For real, this storyline made Django Unchained look like Green Book. It hits very differently now than it did in 2013. Rounding out the cast, no, that is not Linda Perry and her 4 non-blondes drag. It's the late Lance Reddick as voodoo deity Papa Legba. Alpha Twink Evan Peters as deceased frat boy reanimated into the most bubble-butted zombie who's ever prowled. Frances Conroy as Jessica Lange's rival witch Myrtle Snow, a so unholy it's actually holy combo of Deanna Vreeland meets Grace Coddington, Patti LuPone as a religious zealot who lives next door, Christine Ebersol as a former Supreme. I wonder if they workshopped war paint in between scenes. Stevie Nicks as herself. Don't worry, I have a whole video coming about that. If you're looking at this lineup of random grand dams and saying it's only missing Joan Collins, don't worry, they cast her for the sort of sequel Apocalypse. All of them were maybe the next Supreme. All of them were unanimated, then reanimated, some of them several times. The only thing more fatal than their spells were their one-liners. It was pure camp madness, and I cannot think of anything the world needs more at this very moment.